Namaste and hello, my beautiful, wonderful, amazing, gorgeous queens. Most of you queens, unfortunately, most of such behavior goes to men, and yes, it goes both ways. I did see female acting like this, but I can count on my one hand how many times I had seen it, and I have seen this in 20 years. My beautiful queens, I hope you will hear me, and I will link underneath this video the channel of Rose Rosenberg, the channel of Dr. RAMANI. You can do other research and listen to other people talking this subject. The only thing is that I want to tell you 15 signs of a narcissist and narcissistic abuse. The thing is, my beautiful queens, that many psychologists, clinical psychologists, I even had lots of conversations with professional psychologists and clinical psychologists which would agree with this, but they wouldn't agree with this while they are doing their job, like officially. Officially, you will not find a psychologist which will officially tell you, I consider narcissists being a psychopath. Because there are narcissist psychopath, there are psychopath, there is some differences. What I can tell you that I completely fully agree with Anna Boginskaya, and I will link her channel too. She has her videos with English subtitles, because she says if you are a narcissist at age 20, age 30, 40, you're going to be a narcissist, a psychopath, one of the kinds of them. So she says, if we called every manipulator a psychopath, because narcissist doesn't sound as scary as the word psychopath, but if we called every narcissistic abuser a psychopath, we would have much safer world. And I want you to ask yourself one very simple question, and always I hope someone will hear me. You are absolutely unique. Nobody is like you. Nobody lived those lives you lived. Nobody loved like you. No one had your experiences. You are one as a snowflake cannot be repeated. You cannot be repeated. You are unique with your absolutely unique snowflake pattern, with your absolutely unique gifts, with your absolutely unique shines, with your absolutely unique ability to touch people and the life of other people and influence the energies around you. Please answer me one question. Is that what you have come into this planet, into this incarnation, into this life, to waste your unique, beautiful shine on some psychopath, narcissist, manipulator destroying your life? Are you here for that? Of course not. I will repeat myself again. This is again from the work and research of Anna Boginskaya. What is manipulation? Manipulation is when someone uses the specific methods of manipulating another person, emotional, psychological, mental, in order to receive the resource of a victim without giving nothing back or giving a very little. And again, I repeat myself, if we called all the narcissists of 22 kinds of them a word psychopath, and any manipulation and any manipulator a psychopath, this word would click your defensive mechanism and you would get away from it. Now I'm going to give you 15 signs of narcissist manipulator, and I call them psychopath, even though psychologically the professional wouldn't agree with me. I'm going to show you 15 of them. Knowledge of this information saves life. I receive many emails from you asking me this: how can I protect myself from a narcissist manipulator psychopath? There is only two things you can protect yourself from them: is knowledge about them and your self-love and self-value, because every time he tries to push buttons on you, gaslighting, self-gaslighting, hot, cold, carrot and a stick, guilt button, fear button, jealousy button, competition button, all the buttons they push, which I've made so many videos already. If you have deep self-love and self-respect, you're going to throw him out of your life. You're not going to deal with it. So I will try to do 15. Hopefully I will have time to do that, my beautiful queens. Number 1, he believes he has every right, and you can't shake his belief. He believes that he has every right to lie to you, to gaslight you, to play with you, to use you, to manipulate you. He believes he is this superior being, and you, the only goal of you being your existence is to serve him. So if you allow him to use you, play with you, manipulate you, then this is how it's supposed to be. Then you deserve it, because they unfortunately they think very low of those women they manipulate. It's the wolf. How to explain you easily? It's a wolf, you are a sheep, and the resource he needs from you can be different. So he believes he has every right. Please don't expect from him regrets. They don't have no regrets. Number 2, they are not truly and deeply interested in you. I get this all the time. But did he love me? Did he really love me? Are they capable of loving? No, they are not. If we are dealing with the narcissist with a psychopathy in him, this is a certain part of his brain which is called limbic. And their limbic system is non-functioning the same way as adequate people or empathic people. They do not feel empathy, compassion, love. They can't do it. I will give you a simple example. There are people who cannot see colors. It's a rare condition, rather rare in the world. It's not many cases, but they simply see black and white. And this is the same story. They only can use, abuse, devalue, manipulate, and mimic the feelings and the emotions when they need to get you and to use you. And I just read one email from a woman where the man played his part for 3 years. For 3 years, she and all her surrounding and her family, everyone was sure this is a dream man. One day he was gone. Just gone, like poof, like this. Not by himself he was gone. Whatever she possessed was gone with him. A long story. So they are not truly and deeply interested in you. They are interested in you as a resource. As a wolf is in love with a sheep. Resource can be any: psycho-emotional, emotional, sexual, your connections, your talents, your abilities. Anyhow he can use you, he will use you. If he sees, for example, many narcissist psychopath manipulators, they will not usually waste their royal highness time on a women without a resource, so-called not resourceful woman. They will not do it, because if she doesn't have a resource, he has nothing to do with her. For example, I know one case of a very successful woman. She told me he is so ideal. It's like a Hollywood prince. It's like from a Hollywood movie. And she's her own business. She has written 2 books and so on. And so she's like, I know him for 2 years and he never ever gave me the reason to doubt, but something in me, this is what my videos, adrenaline, endorphin, codependency, adrenaline love, when something in me just is danger. I feel danger from this man. And I told her, talk to him, invite him for a dinner. First of all, figure out the story of his life, who he loved, why he separated with those women, and see how he got to that level where he got. You already see the pattern there. But the most important, tell him that, because he told her, ask him what kind of women you like, and he's gonna probably tell you, I love successful, self-sufficient women who don't require anything. I like her to be equal to me. And then I told her, tell him that you don't have no money. Guys, you won't believe what happened. Tell him that you don't have no money, that you invested all your money into not very successful endeavor, and you've lost everything. So you pretty much are in debt, and you have to actually sell your apartment and live with your mother and father in the basement. Tell him you don't have anything. See what's gonna happen. Long story short, it turned out to be he was a partner of a guy who trusted him everything and had taught him everything. And when he learned everything from that guy, he betrayed him. He got all this knowledge and opened a competitive business and got all of the clients of the first guy. And when she told him she had no money, you know what happened? He only lasted at that dinner about 10 more minutes. Then he excused himself and disappeared. He simply walked out and disappeared because she stopped being resourceful. He couldn't get nothing from her. He was gone. When he found out from the newspapers and media about her success, he came back and she asked him, so what happened that night? He gave her some bullshit like, oh, something unexpected and urgent happened. So they will choose a woman with a resource. And if you don't have the resource, they will not give their royal highness attention to you. Sometimes when you lose the resource, they're going to be gone. But when you get the resource and they find out from someone that you get that resource, what he needs back, he's going to come back to you so he can use you again. So they are interested in what you have, not in you as a person. This you have to understand. Number 3, their words never mean nothing. I will give you an example, real example of real life. This woman, she lives in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and this woman was, she was dating this man approximately 8 months, and he always was talking about his mother's death. Always, he was his father was still alive, and he lived in some little village. He always was praising his parents, that his parents is just a heavenly beings, that they gave him everything he knows, and they taught him everything he knows, and the way how wonderful he is, it came from parents. But most of the time he was praising his mother, that his mother died of cancer, I think several years before he met this woman. So it always was something about a mother, and how he misses her, and how he talks to her soul, and so on and so on. So in 8 months, she was so deeply impressed, and her heart swelled so much for such incredible love for him to his parents, that what she did. And he was from another city, so she doesn't tell him anything. She doesn't tell nothing to him. And this is a very rich man. We are talking about man who does business with Siberian diamonds, connected with oil, and so on. Like, we are talking about very rich men. So she doesn't tell anything to anybody. She flies to that city, and he was born in, not even in the city, but about 20-30 kilometers away from the big city, and to that little village where he was originally from. First, she finds his father living in such conditions that she did not believe her eyes. We're talking about father of a multi-millionaire. He was a little hut, which is like 300 years old, with no electricity, with no nothing. And the man was surviving on his, here in America it's called SSI, on ridiculously low payments from the government, which was only enough to buy the medications he needed, because he had diabetes, he had heart problem. When she saw condition of this man, she didn't believe it was a father. But it was much worse when she went to, when her father took her to the little village cemetery, to the grave of his mother. The mother he was praising every moment of his life. Abandoned grave. Abandoned. Like, because the father, he was so old, and it was a couple of kilometers from a village, he would have to walk there. Abandoned grave with not much to it, just a little pile of dirt. To describe her shock is not possible. And a father said that the last time when he saw his son was over 8 years ago. What comes to his mother's grave, he was there probably 10 years ago last. Multi-millionaire. Here, what I mean when I say their words mean nothing. They use words to manipulate. They use words to gaslight. They use words to get you on a hook. They use words to use you. This is how scary they are. So please pay attention. So what a man says becomes his actions. I had said many and many times, man means actions. Next 3. Next 6. I'm always, I hope I can do 9 because I just explained too much. Everything is your fault. Everything. Everything and anything is your fault. None of his responsibility. They never take on. Their responsibility for nothing. It's you. Everything is your fault. It's raining, it's your fault. You're late for a movie, it's your fault. Something broke, it's your fault. The car doesn't start, it's your fault. Kids get bad grades in school, it's your fault. He has a headache, it's your fault. Everything is your fault. Always. With a narcissist, manipulator, psychopath, all the same. You are going to be guilty. Number 5, with him you always feel you are wrong and not enough constantly. He makes you believe that nobody will put up with you but him, and you must just fall to the ground, just raise your hands like this and tell him every single moment of your life, thank you so very much. I'm so grateful for you to be with me. I will worship your every moment of my life because you are giving me your time, because you are such a prince. You are such a king. You are the center of the universe. You're the best thing happened to me. If I lose you, I'm going to die. So he always makes you feel that you are wrong and you are not enough. And you must be so grateful and so happy that he gives you his time and he stays with you and he puts up with you, and he might hint or might tell you, or he might hint that he could have any woman under the sun, but he stays with you. So be grateful to him and worship. He could find much smarter, much more beautiful, much more younger, with more money, with more talent, but he stays with you. So worship me. You see, no one will. It's another thing, the method of manipulation they use. If a woman tries to get away from a narcissist, what happens is he will tell her, and who needs you? You think someone is gonna need you the way you are? I mean, look at yourself. You're not young. You're not that beautiful. You are not that smart. You don't have no profession, or you have children. You think someone will take you? You think someone will need you? Or even that they use sometimes. No one will love you like I do. Another thing, I didn't write it here. I will say it. They make you believe in that thing that he is the biggest prize in the world for you, and you constantly must prove him that you're good enough for him. The thing is, no matter how hard you try, you will not succeed, because this is endless. I already explained that narcissist is the cup without no bottom. You can pour everything there, but it coming out here, he is empty. He doesn't have a bottom. So you can die trying to please him, but you can't. It's useless. Number 6, they will punish you for doing something against his will. Always. And punishment, usually, I was talking about it in my previous video. Usually it's called turning ice. Turning ice and silence treatment. Why this is done? Why the method of manipulation is turning icy cold or silence treatment? Or there is another thing, I want to make a video about it. Intimacy and sex manipulation, because they can make you feel worthless, undesirable, unloved, and unwanted. By not being intimate with you, they will use intimacy and sex against you to make you feel unwanted. And you will start the thing called self-gaslighting. You will start think that it's, again, everything is your fault. Remember, it's your fault. You didn't do something right. You did something, you said something wrong. And you will start trying very hard to please him and to melt him and make him behave kindly towards you. And if you try hard enough, He can melt and he can give you mercy of his attention again. But he will punish you. Usually punishment is turning ice rock, turning the piece of a chunk of ice, silence treatment, or simply if you live together or you date, he will turn ice cold. And even if you ask him, what happened? What did I do? He's going to say, everything is fine. I'm just tired. So you will start a heavy gaslighting, trying to find faults in yourself. You will find faults in yourself. You will find this non-existent fault in yourself, and you will start heavily trying to deserve his approval. And if you try hard, he will give you mercy for a little bit of time until next time you do something against his royal will. Next 3. I was going to make 15, I'm going to do 9. You can watch my other videos and also other videos of specialists of narcissism. Number 7, he considers you love him when you let him have you as a doormat. I actually heard one man saying such words. If you loved me, you would sleep at the door. On a doormat at my door of my apartment if you love me. So they consider a woman loves him if she is like that dog you kick with your feet. She's squealing and crawling away, and then she's just crawling back to the feet of an abuser so he can kick her again. This is terrifying. Please, please, please watch my video, Adrenaline. Love, because many of you take it as love when in fact your entire system screaming danger, danger, danger. It's a heartbeat increasing. It's a feeling of, it's when you're writing me an email, we clicked immediately. Because I felt my heart was racing. I was so happy. I was euphoric. And I felt like my temperature went high. And I didn't see everything around me. I just saw his eyes spark. Adrenaline spike, this is called. You know when you get adrenaline spike? When your system, your physical and your non-physical entire system, you are consisting of physical body and 6 non-physical bodies. Your entire system, before your mind even gets it, it sees in front of you someone who can hurt you. Your system screams danger, danger, danger. Adrenaline spike. Adrenaline spike means run, freeze, fight, fight, freeze, run. It prepares you to fight for your life. But the guy in front of you is looking at you, smiling sweetly, talking nicely. He's not physically attacking you, but your system recognizes potential danger. Even if this man is not going to physically attack you in 5 minutes, your body, your system, your intuition, everything recognizes it. But you call it love, you know? Love. We clicked. It was such a connection. I never felt this way. And this is adrenaline. And when you don't freeze, fight, and run, your body produces endorphins in order to bring adrenaline down. And endorphins is a narcotic. This is what gives you this feeling of happiness, of connection through millions of past life, of euphoria, of finding the one, the true one you were looking for your entire life. You think this is true love. In fact, you are having adrenaline reaction. Your body screams run, but you don't run. Adrenaline, endorphin. And then this is how your body is going to react all the time this man is going to be around. And this is unfortunately how this man becomes a drug and a drug dealer, and many women stay because they can't get away, because a drug addict, unfortunately, drug addiction requires a lot of work to get away from it. He considers you love him only when he can treat you as a doormat. This is how he sees love. And if you dare to get up and walk away in self-love and self-respect, he will consider that you don't love him. You never loved him. He's gonna devalue you, because this is what they do. Oh, bitch. She never loved me. She never was sincere. She never even meant it. She just a bitch. Devalue, discard. This is what they tell to themselves. Number 8, he will never treat you fair. Never. He only considers what is good for him is fair. He doesn't give a damn about your dreams, your interests, your talents, unless he can use them. He gives a damn about your talents if he can use them as a resource, or your hobbies if he can use them as a resource for something he can get. He will never treat you fair. Number 9, they are brilliant and wearing masks. They cannot feel empathy, compassion, and love. Cannot. Just as people who cannot see colors, they cannot feel that, but they can fake it. That's why many of them are phenomenal actors. Many narcissists, so-called textbook narcissists, grandiose narcissists, they are brilliant actors with like 7 gazillion awards, because they can make you believe anything. They can fake any emotion to an absolutely outrageous, brilliant extent. So the chance for you not to believe them is slim, but you can see, because the man is always his actions. Narcissist, psychopath, manipulator, narcissist, psychopath, all three is the same. Their words never match the actions. Man is actions. Some of them do actions if they see enough resource in you which he can use. So I already told you, one psychopath, he was playing this game for 3 years because he had a lot to take from this woman. He took everything from her. I think I told you that story. She had a business. She had a lot of things by age 27, brilliant woman, but she never was in serious relationship. He played the role for 3 years. In 3 years, she was crushed and destroyed, and tried to, unfortunately, commit a suicide, not even once, twice or 3 times. But she had a very, very great parents who finally, parents and sister, her sister, they interfered. But it took so long to get her back. So pay attention to what you feel. Your body is gonna let you know danger. Just listen to your body. They are brilliant chameleons. They are wearing masks. They fake feelings. They fake emotions. They can look into your eyes with so much love. It's a lie. So you have to know how to recognize them. You have to know how to see them. You have to know how they press your buttons. Please watch the videos of Dr. RAMANI, of Rosenberg, or of others, of mine, of my own, because I've made them too. Please watch Anna BOGINSKAYA, brilliant work. Brilliant information which saves millions